Hello, this is your Google Docs training. You will complete this video, answer the questions as you go, and then you will have a Google Docs activity to complete and submit through Google Classroom. So let's start off real quick. I don't want to make this too long because we should be very familiar with Google Docs and accessing and using some of the majority of the tools in there that we will use during this term. We really enjoy using Google Docs because it is a cloud-based document. That meaning that no matter where you are, it kind of you have access to it. It floats out up in the sky, in the clouds, and whether you are on your own personal device, a school device, or borrowing a computer in the classroom, you will have access to those files. We want to make sure and emphasize with you that when you are using your My Drive, the Google Drive folders, you want to make sure that you are logged into your Google account for school. All of you have a personal Google account through Power Unified. You make sure that you are logged into that to access the documents that we share, and also when submitting documents into Google Classroom for grading. So let's talk about Google Docs. So when you are given an assignment through Google Classroom, it will generate a personal copy of the document, whether it's a fill in the blank or a paper that you're going to write. We are usually going to provide you the document, so there's no need for having to create or copy it. It's going to do that for you. It's going to give it a title up here in the left-hand corner, and so that when you submit it, you know which document you're submitting. If you ever need to go back to it, you can go up here in the search bar, type in the title of the assignment that you need to work on, and you will get access to it. So we should be very familiar with a lot of the tools that are already in here. They're very similar to Word, which you've probably grown up with. I know for me, the Control-Z, undoing things when I've made errors, is my friend. So make sure that's a little shortcut. You can either hit the undo button or the Control-Z. And just a reminder that as you are typing and accessing your documents in Google Drive, they are shared automatically. So there's no need for you to have to go back in there and save any documents, rename any documents. Everything is done for you. So it keeps track of edits as you go. So just remember that. So some important things that we want to kind of focus on when you're typing or we've given you a document to fill in is to make sure that when you look at your paper, whether it be a paragraph you're writing, 2 paragraphs, responses to questions, doing any annotation, that you're looking at the underlying marks that pop up on your document. And these are a reminder that these are either a spelling error of some sort or something is wrong with your grammar. So you can also access those to check your document under Tools for spelling, and we'll do a spelling and grammar check. But as you can see here, I have some red and blue marks. The red usually means it's a misspelled word, where the blue designates a grammar error. So I can either click on it or right click on it. It's going to give me the suggestion. If it has several options, comes up with more than one, make sure you focus on trying to understand which is the correct word that you want to use. So make sure as you're going through this document, you are correcting those errors. So it just makes your paper look a lot cleaner. Some other tools that we want you to be familiar with under the tools is it has an option for word count. If we ever give you an assignment that says, you have to have a certain amount of words, if you click on the word count, it's going to give you the number of words. Very rarely do we have asked for that format, but you may have other classes that do require it. What I really like is if I come in here and say I do have a word, I misspelled it, and then I do correct it, and if I highlight that word, I go to Tools, and I click Dictionary. On the right-hand side, it's going to show me the definition of the word. So if I'm not sure if it had many choices, I can look at what were the choices it gave me and if that is the word that I'm choosing to use. So again, if you highlight, oops, let's close that. If you highlight any word, you can do the shortcut Control-Shift-Y, or come under Tools for Dictionary. It's going to come up with a dictionary definition for you. What I also like, let's go back to that real quick, is that it also gives you synonyms. So maybe a better word that you can use. Make sure you understand what those words mean. So it gives you some options in there. Another great tool that is available to us, it can be found under Tools, or can be found down here in the right corner, this little star. It's called Explore. So instead of jumping off to another page to maybe look some information up, I can click Explore. I can come in here and type in what I'm searching for that maybe helps me jog my memory of something, or I need to put into my paper in my own words. Let's just say the capital of California. If I click on that, it's going to provide me websites that have that information. So that Explore tool is another great tool to be aware of and utilize. We should also be very familiar with how to insert images. If you go under Insert Images, you can upload those from the computer if you have images that you have already saved on your computer, or you can search the web. Again, it's going to come here on the right side. You type in what you're looking for. Oh, look at all the choices. If you click on it, come down and you can insert it, or you can just simply take it in and drag it into your document. And if you click on the middle of the document, it's going to come up with the blue boxes around so that I can minimize my picture, and I can kind of move it around the screen. And if we do require you to insert images, we will kind of go over into a text and how we might want that formatted. Hit Control Z and get out of here. Go back to my original document. And one of the last tools that I want to go over with you guys is sometimes we have a hard time getting those words onto paper. We have what we want to say in our head, but then by the time we're trying to get all that information typed in, it's just jumbled in our head because we're not moving as quickly. So if I go to, again, Tools, we have this voice typing activity. And once you click on that, this little microphone box pops up. If you click on that, it's ready to type, and it's going to record what you have to say, period. It also puts in the punctuation for you when you state it, comma. However, you have to make sure you say that. It's not going to know it off the top of its head, period. And then when you're done typing, you just want to go ahead and click back off that microphone. As you can see, I have some highlighted things. Always want to make sure I do this is go back and look at what was written or typed in for me off of what I said, and correct those errors if it makes sense. Now remember, sometimes those things that get underlined may not be what you wanted to say, so you don't always have to take their suggestion. You can go kind of edit it how you feel, but always make sure that you are doing that. And then this one was a little lighter, hardly could see this one, but this one I had to right click on, and it says, did you mean this? So I can then choose. Still not what I wanted, but I went back and checked other grammar errors. So the big takeaways from this video is making sure that we remember that when we do have underlying colors pop up into our writing, that means we've made some type of error in what we've written or spoken. So we want to make sure that we go back and check those. We can do the spell check under Tools. We have the Explore to be able to look up information, and the use of the dictionary and voice typing. And the big other one is the use of insert. Having to insert images is probably our biggest thing that we may ask for. So those are important things you need to know about Google Docs for this term.